Most men think attraction is about looks, money, or status. But here's the truth. It's how you make her feel that truly matters. A well-timed compliment, not the cliche kind, but one that sees her, that can shift everything. In this video, we'll explore 8 powerful compliments that go beyond the surface. Words that leave a lasting emotional impression. But be warned, lazy praise makes you invisible. What sets you apart is precision, presence, and the way you speak like a man who sees with depth. That's what Stoic connection is about. Measured words, intentional energy, and deep impact. If that's what you're here for, subscribe, and let's dive in. Number 1. That fragrance you're wearing is addictive. Let's start with something most men overlook. Scent. Now, you might be thinking, really? Her perfume? Yeah, but hear me out. There's something primal about scent. It bypasses logic and goes straight to emotion, straight to memory. You ever caught a smell that instantly took you back? To a woman, a moment, a place you thought you forgot? That's no coincidence. That's neuroscience. Scent is directly tied to the brain's limbic system, the part that stores memory and emotion. So when you tell a woman, that fragrance you're wearing is addictive, it's incredible. You're not just saying, you smell good. You're telling her, you've left a mark on me, and it lingers. That hits different. Most guys say, you look nice, or that dress is cute. And then they wonder why she forgets them 2 hours later. But you notice the invisible energy, the mood she carries, the scent that stays in your mind after she walks away. And here's the Stoic twist. You don't say it to impress. You say it with calm presence, steady voice, no overdoing it. Just one moment of quiet confidence, and it plants a memory in her mind. Every time she wears that perfume again, that's real influence. And it starts with awareness. Number 2, there's something calming about being around you. Now let me tell you something that most men completely miss. Not every compliment needs to be about how she looks. In fact, the ones that really touch a woman, the ones she remembers, are about how she makes you feel. Let's say you're sitting with her. There's no pressure, no rush. Maybe you've had a long day, but being around her, something shifts. You feel more grounded, more at ease, like the noise of the world just quiets down a little. You lean in and say, there's something calming about being around you. You make things feel lighter. Now that hits her differently. Because here's the truth. Most women walk through the world constantly expected to give energy, attention, emotion. So when a man tells her, not that she's hot or sexy, but that her presence brings peace, it's rare and powerful. And let's be honest, how many people in your life actually make you feel calm? Very few. That's why this compliment matters. You're not just flattering her, you're validating her energy, her essence, something deeper than appearance. And when you say it with that Stoic energy, grounded, steady, without needing anything back, you leave an impression that lingers long after the conversation ends. Because peace is magnetic, and when you acknowledge it in her, you show her that you move differently than the rest. Number 3, I love how real you are. Let's talk about something that doesn't get enough credit these days, authenticity. In a world full of filters, masks, and pretenses, being real is one of the rarest and most valuable traits a person can have. You know what I mean, right? We live in a time where everyone is trying to be someone they're not, or worse, trying to be what the world expects. But when you meet a woman who's just herself, raw, unapologetic, and unafraid to be real, that's rare. And if you notice that in her, you can say, I love how real you are. You don't try to fit in. You're just yourself. That's powerful. Because here's the thing. Most men play it safe. They stick to surface-level compliments, telling her she's beautiful or cute. But when you go deeper, when you call out her realness, you're doing something that few others will ever do. You're seeing her beyond the Instagram picture, beyond the polished version the world is used to seeing. And that, my friend, is a connection that goes beyond the surface. A Stoic man, he doesn't waste time with fake compliments. He sees strength and authenticity, and he respects it. So when you tell her, I love how real you are, you're letting her know she doesn't have to perform for you. She's enough just as she is. And that's a gift. Not just to her, but to you, because when she feels truly seen, something shifts in the dynamic. She'll respect you for that. Trust me. Number 4, that you make people feel seen. Let me share a truth most people overlook. Being seen is one of the deepest human needs. Not being watched, not being admired, but really seen. You ever talk to someone who makes you feel like you actually matter? Like they're not just waiting for their turn to speak, but genuinely paying attention? That's rare. And if a woman does that, if she looks into people, not just at them, you better believe that's something worth telling her. So when you say, you make people feel seen, like they matter, you're telling her she has a rare gift, emotional presence. Most women never hear that. They hear, you're pretty, or you're sweet. But no one tells them they have a gift that impacts others on a deeper level. And when you speak that truth to her, calmly, like a man who notices more than just what's on the surface, it lands. Why? Because it's not just a compliment. It's recognition. It says, I see what you do that others don't. It tells her she's the kind of woman who makes a room warmer just by being present. And that's unforgettable. Stoic men aren't loud. They're observant. They praise not to flatter, but to reflect truth. And when you reflect that truth in her with calm strength, you build something deeper than attraction. You build respect. Number 5, I admire the way you handle pressure. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you truly acknowledged how a woman holds herself together when life gets hard? Because here's the truth. We often admire strength in men, stoicism, resilience, calm under fire. But we forget women carry an immense amount of pressure too. Balancing work, emotions, expectations, relationships, without ever asking for applause. So when you notice a woman who doesn't fall apart under pressure, who stays calm, composed, thoughtful, you have a rare chance to give a compliment that actually matters. Say this, I admire the way you handle pressure. You stay strong when others would have snapped. Let it land. Let her feel the weight of those words. Because here's what happens. In that moment, you're not admiring her looks. You're admiring her inner framework, her discipline, her emotional intelligence. You're saying, I see the quiet battles you fight, and I respect how you carry them. That, my friend, is a compliment that stays with her. Not for a day, but maybe for years. Because strong women don't want to be saved. They want to be recognized. And when you give that recognition from a calm, grounded place, not looking for anything in return, you show her that you're different. You're not just another guy impressed by her smile. You're a man who sees what's beneath it. Number 6, there's a calm energy about you I really respect. Let's be honest, most people today are loud. Loud in how they speak, how they dress, how they show up online. It's all about grabbing attention, filling the space. But every now and then, you meet someone who doesn't force the room to notice them. Instead, they comment. That's rare. And if a woman has that kind of peaceful, grounded presence, you better believe she doesn't hear about it often. So say this to her. There's a calm energy about you I really respect. You don't need to say much. Your presence says it all. That kind of compliment, it's like giving her space to breathe. Because what you're really saying is, I see your strength, and it's in your stillness. You're not chasing her charm, you're honoring her centeredness, that quiet confidence. And trust me, most women have spent their lives being told to smile more, speak up, be bubbly. So when you admire the calm instead of the noise, you show her you're not like most men. You're tuned in to a different frequency. That's the Stoic way. You don't chase the chaos, you value the composure. And when you speak to that part of her, you leave a deeper impression than any flashy words ever could. Number 7, you make people want to be better. Let's talk about a rare kind of influence. Not the kind that shouts, not the kind that needs attention or praise, but the kind that quietly inspires change, just by being who you are. Some women, they don't try to impress. They don't try to fix people. But somehow, when you're around them, you just want to show up better, straighter, wiser, more intentional. If you've ever met a woman like that, say this to her. You make people want to be better. Just being around you pushes me to level up. That hits differently, because it's not a surface compliment, it's a mirror. You're reflecting back the quiet power she carries, the kind of energy that doesn't demand change, but awakens it in others. Think about it. Most compliments talk about how a woman looks, but this talks about the effect she has on the people around her, its leadership, its grace, its influence without ego. And when you acknowledge that with calm confidence, like a man who sees beyond the obvious, you don't just make her feel appreciated. You show her she's seen at the highest level. That's the Stoic edge. You praise what's rare, and you do it with intention. Number 8. You make me feel peaceful, like I don't have to be on all the time. Here's something most men never say out loud. We're tired, not just physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Always having to perform, to be the provider, the rock, the one who keeps it together. But every once in a while, you meet a woman who makes all that noise fade. She doesn't demand anything. She just makes you feel at ease. It's like being able to exhale after holding your breath for years. If you've ever felt that around a woman, don't let it go unspoken. Say this, gently, sincerely. You make me feel peaceful, like I don't have to be on all the time when I'm with you. That's not just a compliment. That's vulnerability. That's trust. Because in a world that keeps men in a constant state of tension, finding peace in another human being is rare. And when you tell her this, you're letting her know that her presence is healing, that she's not just beautiful, she's a place of rest. And that, my friend, is a level of emotional connection most guys never reach. Not because they can't, but because they're afraid to say it out loud. But the Stoic man, he's grounded enough to be open, strong enough to be gentle, clear enough to speak truth without fear. Number 9. I admire the way your mind works. You know what catches my attention more than curves or looks? How a woman thinks. Most guys compliment a woman's beauty, but rarely does she hear this. I admire the way your mind works. Say that genuinely, and you'll see her whole energy shift. Because you're not just flattering her looks. You're honoring her intellect, her thoughtfulness, her insight. Maybe it's how she connects ideas, how she notices what others miss, how she makes you see the world a little differently. That kind of compliment doesn't just make her smile, it validates a deeper part of her identity. And that's something she won't forget. When a Stoic man speaks, he doesn't speak often, but when he does, his words land. Number 10. There's a quiet strength in you I really respect. Some women don't shout to be noticed. They don't need to dominate the room. But if you're paying attention, you'll feel it, their quiet strength. The way she holds herself. The way she stays calm when others panic. The way she chooses her battles. So when you say, there's a quiet strength in you I really respect, you're not just complimenting her presence. You're recognizing something rare, something most men overlook. In a world full of noise, that kind of grounded, feminine strength, it's magnetic. And when a grounded man acknowledges it, a powerful trust begins to form. Number 11. You bring a calm energy into the space. Let me ask you something. Have you ever met someone who just makes you feel peaceful without trying? She walks in, and suddenly things feel lighter. She listens without judgment. She doesn't rush to speak, but when she does, it's thoughtful. That's not a coincidence. That's feminine energy at its most graceful. So when you say to her, you bring a calm energy into the space, you're letting her know you see more than the surface. You feel her essence, her presence. You appreciate the energy she brings, not just what she does. That kind of compliment, it doesn't just flatter, it resonates. And it separates you from every man who only saw her smile, but missed her soul. The truth is, words have the power to open doors, not just to her heart, but to something deeper, emotional trust. And in a world where flattery is cheap, a man who speaks with intention, with clarity, with presence, he stands out without needing to try. So next time you compliment a woman, don't just tell her she's pretty. Let her know you see her strength, her softness, her spark. That's what she'll remember. If this resonated with you, if you're the kind of man who values depth over tactics, truth over games, then subscribe. We're building something real here. A place for men who lead with wisdom, not noise. Until next time, stay grounded, speak with purpose, and never forget, your presence is the real compliment.